because some of the comments might be useful for somebody else. But one of the things that I try to tell people is really be aware of the outside of the track, right? So this is going to be a really slow lap of the track where we're going to take a look at what we've got going on. And I'm just going to call out a couple key points where you're getting nervous and we don't really need to. So one thing here, I want to make sure, and this is not like a call out point, but this is more of a, I want to make sure you get why we're using the line, right? We're trying to create, and we're trying to create the biggest arc possible. We're trying to straighten things out as much as possible. Exactly, so that you can carry the most speed, right? So we want to use all the track out because that builds a bigger angle. It builds a bigger arc. So we come out here, you're doing pretty well through here. And this is something that you're going to develop over time, but your confidence in how quickly you can enter this, like you're doing a little bit too much braking. And what I want you to find,
do I need to be braking at all through this corner?
As you go faster, you will. And it's
like just trail braking through it, or just initial at the initial braking rate.
You can do a little bit of trail brake if you're carrying a ton of speed. You can actually, so it goes beyond trail braking. What you end up doing is that's a really, given the fact that you have it as a component in your tool bag, left foot braking through that corner will allow you to get the car to pull in a little bit more. Does that make sense? It just gives that front end a little. Yeah, exactly. You load up that front end a bit and it gives you good grip. So through here, again, right, we don't want to like focus on things. Like I don't want you like staring at this when you come through here, but somebody dropped orange paint through here.
Oh, now I see it.
See it?
I couldn't see it the first time.
I get it. And so we'll do 2 laps and I'll show you. The problem is if you run full wide there, it starts getting a little bit bumpy. You had a couple entries here which were really good. You're delaying that braking and then you're getting on those brakes and getting that car kind of rotated in, which is great. That trail braking will cause some more rotation, especially in turn 10. Especially in turn 10, and then you're doing pretty well here. The one thing I want you to do is,
I don't know how to. I don't remember where I was supposed to be, and so I'm mid track here, and then you turn in.
I would let the car out a little bit, or even start out a little bit wide, so that you get a better angle over here. And
so
then
you really want to come out pointing at this cone.
You really want to come out pointing at this cone, and then you can really carry some speed down through here. What I want you to think about here, right, and this is what I really want to show you. So I did the turn in point, I'm coming in here, right? And what you get nervous about, right, and everybody does, it's like, oh shit, look at all that grass, right? Change it up. Look at all this pavement, right? So I'm asking you to come to this cone and then make the turn in. Dude, like we got plenty of room here too, right? Like if you get out wide, if you get all the way out wide, then you're like,
you're aiming for there.
You're aiming for there, but you've got all this in here, right? So then you come about mid-track here, and the key here in some of these corners, my motto is, or my mantra is, the apex is safety. So here, if you notice, if you get as tight as you can here, even to the point where you get that rumble, what it does is every foot you go to the right, it buys you foot on the left. That you can really come through here fast.
It's more safety.
Exactly, it's more safety. And so here I come through with pretty good speed, and it's a little bit later turn in. And then what I want you to focus on a little bit more here is, and you're getting better at it, you're getting it dialed, but I want hard braking in a straight line as you come up here, looking for that apex, and then ease off those brakes and dial that steering wheel in. And then as you start applying that throttle, I want that steering wheel to start to open. And remember, I never go straight here. There's always a little bit angle dialed in, so that I just start coming around, and then I dial it back in right here. So when you start getting, I'm going to show you over here too, at turn 5, it's a great call out as well, in terms of, you seem confident in turn 5, it doesn't seem like you have any concerns there, but I'm going to show you again, like how much pavement there is there. It's a freaking, like, it feels like a freaking football field out there.
And I think it's, when I'm trying to shift my bearing out, what I'm fighting is the idea that it's finding a point, like a visual reference point, because obviously it's like all the education and training I've had has been like, you do what kind of feels safe to you. There is no reference point for LA.
And versus here, man, like it's the same damn thing every time, right? Like that orange line's still there, right? And it's like an easy button, right? Like that's honestly, that's kind of the easy button here. So here, right, if shit goes wrong here, again, like I'm trying to fight to get in here, and it falls off. It's off camber here, so don't be throwing the gas on. But for God's sakes, man, all you have to do if you feel like you're going off the track, just run wide. Right.
Gotcha.
And then when I do a couple demo laps for you at speed, I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna play around a little bit. Like we'll do like 4 laps because I want to figure out how much speed you can carry through there and where you want to be in order to carry that speed. I do think you want to enter relatively wide and then bend that car in and then start accelerating out. But again, here, man, just boom, get that left dialed in and come in here. And then go to the brakes here, right? Like use that, delay that braking a little bit more, but amp it up, and then hit this apex, and then finally, man, like again, I'm gonna show you. I am flat on the floor right now. Flat, 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 flat. Right? So we came through there at 80. You can go through there even faster than that. And again, we're wide here. And again, I want it flat on the floor, and then. And do you feel how much that was like a shift? This car has got great brakes. Like this thing is fucking badass. I'm digging it. But so again, right? Like we're easing into this. Where this is kind of the fire hose right now. I just want you to I'm showing you some of the stuff that we can do. And through here, man, like I want you to start. If you keep your inputs really fine and smooth. That car, like this car is just completely stable right now. And granted, we're only doing 61, but it's when I do the demo lap, I think you'll see like it's really nice and smooth, and it's just kind of like we're carrying some pretty badass speed without. So again, like here, foot on the floor, boom, right, and then keep going until here. And then we'll start thinking about using that white line as our braking point because we're carrying a shitload more speed versus you're coming off the throttle like as we exit the corner. Like it's a straightaway, man. That's our drag race time. So.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm just doing it because I'm nervous about carrying too much speed into that corner. That's all.
Yeah. And so that's when you're asking me, right? Like, I don't want to tell you braking points because right now things are changing so rapidly in your assessment that. I see. Okay. Right. So
the speed I'm carrying is varying because of my confidence that.
Exactly, and then that varies your brake point. Like, if you come in hauling ass here. Like your braking point is going to be boom, car settles, and then you start braking all the way to that cone, right? Versus if you're coming in at, not hauling ass, your braking point can be 50 feet from that cone, right? So just stuff to think about. And again, like this is where we vary in the track days, right? And this is where it ends up being that little like, okay, well, great, like I'm trying to shave a 10th, and I've got to move like, I got to move my braking point like 10 feet later, right? And then that's my 10th, right? So that's the kind of stuff where, when you're running a 130 and we're trying to get to a 129.9, that's where that stuff will start coming into play. But for right now, we're just using a big scope, and you're doing well though.